inputs from our correspondents who are there at the ground. Dibyendu Mandal joins us from Kolkata and Akshay Dongre joins us from Kullu, Himachal Pradesh. Akshay, coming over to you first. We know how Himachal Pradesh is being searing under a heat wave, both a political one and a climatic one. You're there in the state of Himachal Pradesh, where 4 seats for the general elections will go to polls tomorrow, and also 6 assembly seats will go to polls tomorrow. Get us a sense of the political landscape in the state ahead of these 2 major events tomorrow.
Well, exactly, Preeti, you are right that 4 Lok Sabha Assembly constituencies are going for polls, along with the 6 seats in the Legislative Assembly that are up for the by-elections after the political storm erupted this year over the Rajya Sabha elections. However, you are right that there is a heat wave in several parts of Himachal. However, we to understand the topography of the state, we have to see that there are certain areas where there is, it's snowing in Rohtang Pass. In fact, it snowed yesterday, and there are certain areas where the temperature has crossed to over 42 to 43 degrees Celsius, and that is in fact what makes Himachal Pradesh unique in terms of the poll preparations that are required in order to make to ensure that everyone gets to vote as far as the elections are concerned. And in fact, right now we are at one of the polling booths of Kullu, where most of the polling parties have already left yesterday for the poll preparations. Now there are certain pink booths that that are in the neighbouring areas, especially in Kullu and Manali, where the polling parties will be leaving today, and that is what the poll preparations are all about. In fact, to ensure that there are no difficulties, given the fact that Himachal is a hilly state, the terrain is quite difficult and at times treacherous as well, given the inclement weather conditions that may erupt at any point of time. Situation has to be monitored, and preparations have to be made accordingly, and that is why the polling parties leave one day in advance, and most of them have left. You can also make a sense from the empty chairs that are behind me that most of the polling parties have already gone to their polling booths and have set them up. But moving on to the political landscape, yes. In fact, it's quite interesting to see that the BJP will, in fact, try to gain all 4 out of 4 seats once again that it has been doing in 2014 and in 2019 elections, along with the 6 seats that are up for grabs during the by-elections that the BJP is trying very hard to get, because if it does manage to get all the 6 seats and win all the 6 seats that are being contested by former MLAs, all the 6 are former MLAs who had voted for BJP in the Rajya Sabha elections and are now a part of the Bharatiya Janata Party after they were expelled and are now contesting all of these 6 by-elections. So if BJP manages to get all of these 6 seats, it will manage to come equal in terms of the Congress government, along with the support of the 3 independent MLAs opposing a counter to the Congress party with 34 seats out of the 68, because the Congress party also is sitting at a 50% margin with 34 seats, 34 MLAs out of the 68. So that is going to put a big question mark on the Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu government in the state.
All right, from here I'll bring in Dibyendu Mandal, who is joining us from Kolkata. Dibyendu, you're there in Kolkata. Help us understand, how is this last phase of elections important in Kolkata? What are the key seats that will witness the polls tomorrow? And also get us a generic sense of the political landscape in the state as of now.
Well, good morning, Preeti. Of course, 9 crucial seats are going to polls in this last phase of election. Remember, Bengal's election was spread over all the 7 phases of the general elections of 2024. So, of course, the last phase has been kept. The 7th phase, or the last phase, will witness elections in the 2 seats of Kolkata, which is the capital of West Bengal, the North and the South Kolkata, as well as the adjoining suburban seats of the Barashat as well as Jadavpur. Apart from that, Preeti, the Bashirhat constituency, which made headlines just a couple of months back with the incident of Sandesh Khali, if you remember, where women alleged accusations of molestation and rape, is also going to go to polls in this last phase of election. So, of course, it will be interesting to note and see how the electorate of Bashirhat votes in this elections of 2024. Remember, the Trinamool Congress also changed its candidate in the Bashirhat Lok Sabha seat. The sitting member of Parliament, Mr. Jahan, has been replaced, while the BJP has pinned their hope in a woman who herself had alleged that she was molested, and she was part of the women that were molested by the alleged TMC muscleman Sheikh Shahjahan. So of course that is Rekha Patras. Of course that will be an interesting seat to watch out for. And apart from that, of course the two metropolitan seats of Kolkata North and South is also interesting. But this time the BJP is trying to make a dent into the Trinamool Congress's bastion. Preeti, these 9 seats that are going to polls are the bastion of the Trinamool Congress. None of them are currently with the BJP. What the BJP is trying to do this time around you saw the Prime Minister holding 3, in fact 4 rallies in the 9 constituencies that are going to polls. So of course, what the BJP is trying to do is make a dent into the Trinamool Congress's bastion and perhaps win a couple of seats from here. It is expecting to win. But of course, we'll get to know if the BJP has been able to make a mark and cut ice to the voters of these constituencies on the 4th of June. But the BJP is trying hard to make strong dents into these bastion. Of course, also the last and the important constituency amongst this is the Diamond Harbour constituency, where the Trinamool Congress's second in command, Abhishek Banerjee, is contesting, and the BJP and Prime Minister also held a rally in Diamond Harbour constituency, hoping to make some inroads into that bastion of the Trinamool Congress. Yes,
all right, so let's see how the efforts of these political parties and political leaders fare out once the results will be announced on 4th of June. But tomorrow is the last date of polling. Thank you so much, Dibendu and Akshay, for joining in with those details. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi marked the end of a hectic poll campaign